You're listening to Petrified. This episode, The Loneliest Sound.
Good morning, Storm You'll Head, for the last time. Ooh, it's cold. Let's warm you up. Right, let's get to it. Ahoy there, mateys. This is Lightkeeper Anna at Storm You'll Head Lighthouse on our last official day before we go automatic. Hi Alan and Sandra, Anna here, as you know. And thanks once again to everyone at Waves FM for the interest. I'll try and make this as informative and interesting as possible. And if you need me to come into the studio to re-record any bits, I'll be happy to do so. I'll be free as a bird from tomorrow. But for now, I'll just go straight into it. My name is Anna Yardley and I'm the Lightkeeper at Storm You'll Head Lighthouse. Today is October the 6th, 1987, and it's our final day of manned operations before automation. I've had the honour of being the very first female lightkeeper and the very last keeper on the west coast of Ireland, having proudly co-manned, or co-personed, the lighthouse since 1983. My co-workers finished up 3 months ago and have gone into happy retirement, and I've been sailing solo while Mr. Jack Walsh from the Commissioners of Irish Lights pops by to help make the change to automatic. It's been a real honour working here. And I just don't know what I'm going to do with myself when it ends, as I have no experience in anything else. I suppose I'll end up working on a checkout of the new supermarket. But you don't need to know that. So, just putting it out there. If you all like how I sound, I'll be looking for a job soon enough. Ugh. No need to beg, Anna. Okay. Let's get you all set up for our last night together, doll. Well, here I am in what we jokingly refer to as the control panel. I've done my final checks. It feels sad to say that. Check the bulbs, the glass. We're on and working. It's getting dark outside and the big light above me is slowly revolving, so all those boats out at sea know that they are close to Storm You'll Head and don't run aground. My current location is the floor underneath the room where the Great Light lives, and out from my huge window I can see the ocean for miles. It's a great view and a lovely evening to call my last. It's been an honour looking out for all you sailors, fishermen and cruisers. Long may you sail. A bit flowery and dry as a bone at the same time. What a feat. Hi Alan and Sandra. I was thinking, and of course feel free to edit this out, but it might be interesting to your listeners to hear some lore or legends about the lighthouses. Yeah, you'd know best of course, but thought I'd give the option anyway. Liquors. Well, for instance...
Mary Driftwood calling.
Oh.
The Mary Driftwood calling.
Mary Driftwood, this is Storm You'll Head. How are you doing?
Ah, you're there.
I am indeed. And I can see you. At least I assume that's you. The pleasure cruiser bobbing around near the point.
That's us.
Everything okay with you, Mary?
From your great vantage point, can you tell us if that's a fog bank rolling in from the distance?
It sure looks like it. That wasn't on the weather report for today.
No, we hadn't heard either.
Maybe it's time to come back in before it reaches you.
We'll be in soon for sure. Thank you.
You're welcome. Happy to help. The Mary Driftwood? Because that's not tempting fate at all. as I was saying, there are a lot of legends and lore about lighthouses. Seeing as where I am now, with the sun setting, the only sounds the waves and the gulls, and a fog bank rolling in from the sea, it might be appropriate to get a little eerie. So, Alan and Sandra, have you ever heard the mystery of the 3 Aylon Moor lighthouse keepers? This might interest your listeners. Our tale begins and ends on the remote Flannan Island in the Outer Hebrides. On the 26th of December 1900, a boat carrying Joseph Moore, a replacement keeper, reached the landing platform of the Aylon Moor. With no keepers waiting to greet the boat, even though they had known in advance it would be coming, the crew blew their horn and sent up a warning flare. Nothing. Moore rowed ashore alone and made his way up the steep steps of the cliff. And as he got even closer, a terrible feeling of dread washed over him, as if the feeling had been waiting on the island for someone to step into it. Moore reached the lighthouse to find the door unlocked, the place empty. Inside were plates of half-eaten food, a single overturned chair. The clock had stopped. There was no sign of the 3 keepers. Moore ran back the way he'd come and waved at the boat that brought him. Its crew came ashore to help search. But where had the men gone? Had they been washed into the sea somehow? But there had been no storms or bad weather in the area for many weeks, and these were experienced keepers. And then Moore found the lighthouse log. Inside its pages, Ducat, the head keeper, had noted winds the like of which they had never seen before, buffeting the tower for days, making them fear for their lives. And what winds were these? Nowhere else had these winds been noted or felt. Then, scribbled hurriedly on a page, Marshall, the second in command, wrote that Ducat had been unnaturally silent all that week, and the third in command, MacArthur, had been crying. A sturdy keeper, battered over the ears by wind and rain, crying while a phantom storm lashed against the lighthouse. And then the final entry. It read, "Storm ended, sea calm, God is over all." The men were never found. But for years after, keepers that followed told tales on the mainland around the safety of warm fires. Tales of hearing weird voices in the wind, calling out the names of the 3 missing men. Just as the fog surrounds the tower. Fitting. Mary? This is Stormiel Head. Can you hear me, Mary?
Hi. Are you calling about the fog? It's pretty obvious now.
It's a beast. I've noticed you haven't moved for the last while. All good with you, Mary?
Not really.
I was thinking there might be something. You in trouble, Mary?
Engine's acting up.
Will I call the Coast Guard?
No. My crewmate is having a look. It'll be good in a while.
Okay. Good to hear. You just let me know if you need help.
It's stormy, right?
Sorry?
Stormule is Irish for stormy. Stormy Head?
Yep.
I know bits and pieces of Irish.
Yep. So, were you doing a spot of fishing?
No. This was all for pleasure, ironically.
Many on board?
2 of us. I'm the less, I suppose you'd say, mechanically minded, so I get to stretch out up here and chat with your good self while the man in the know sorts out the engine.
Nice work if you can get it.
Are there many in your lighthouse?
Sailing solo. We're in the process of transferring to automatic, unmanned lighthouses.
Oh, really? How long until that happens?
It's actually my last night.
So from tomorrow I would have been talking to myself?
You would.
Fortunate timing, so. You've a great voice for this kind of stuff. Very comforting.
Oh, thanks. So, if there's anything else you need, just holler.
Oh, of course. You've no time to be chatting away. Working hard. Working hard.
Yep. So just holler.
Will do. Thanks, Stormy.
Not a problem, Mary. Poor saps. They are totally marooned, I know it. You not a seafaring person usually, Mary?
Oh, hello again. Well, I've been out this way a few times, just not...
Mechanically minded.
Exactly. Boat engines are above my pay grade.
It would help to know a little, though.
It's like, do you drive?
I do.
Would you know how to fix your car if it broke down?
You got me there. Put in my place.
Do you get many wrecks?
In my car?
No, boats. On the rocks?
There haven't been any during my time.
That's because you're such a great keeper.
Thank you very much.
But reading between the lines of your answer, that means there has been a wreck before your time?
About 12 years ago. 1975. The town remembers.
Any dead?
I might have to call it, Mary, and notify the Coast Guard if you don't get that engine going in the next 10. We want to make sure they'll be able to actually find you.
Are you changing the subject, Stormy?
You rumbled me. I just think it's bad luck to discuss sunken ships with someone on a stalled one.
But you did have a boat dash itself against the rocks.
Yes. A fishing boat. 8 souls lost.
No. Were they locals?
Yes. All had family in the village close to Stormy Head.
And that was the last one? In 1975? That's good going, in a way.
One is too many.
Do you believe in souls?
Oh, 8 souls lost. It's an expression. I meant lives.
I know. But do you believe in souls?
I'm not religious.
Do you believe in ghosts?
It depends on how dark and late it is, whether I'm on my own.
Everything suddenly becomes more believable.
Do you?
Ghosts? Oh, yes. Although I know I'm supposed to say no.
You can say what you want.
Well, it's already tick against you when you say that. The listener's internal eyebrow raises. Although it could be a real one in your case, and I'd never be the wiser.
So, are we talking actual manifestations of people walking through walls, or...?
I believe that if you die unfulfilled, you'll stick to the place you died.
I hope that's not true.
Thinking about those 8 souls hanging about your lighthouse?
Something like that. This is turning into a funny conversation.
I'm sorry. We just happened to bring up a topic I'm really into. This is my version of football. Like when a taxi driver asks my boyfriend, "Did you watch the match?" Digging for him to say yes.
So this is your version of "Did you watch the match?"
Have you ever heard sounds in the wind along the coast? Names being called?
That's weird.
Oh, you have heard?
No, but I was thinking of a story earlier that sounded similar. If I did hear sounds in the wind, I'd be back in the village before you could click your fingers. And you'd never get me back to the coast.
They can be moved along. Ghosts. The coast could be clear, as the saying almost goes.
Help them find peace and they transcend? Is that it?
I don't know if they can ever find peace.
That's bleak.
But you can move them along.
Push them away to somewhere else? Let someone else worry about it?
They're bad luck.
In what way?
Like attracts like.
They'll draw other spectral beings.
They'll make other ghosts.
How so?
Kill people.
A ghost can kill someone.
They can make the right conditions so nature takes its course.
Elaborate.
You've heard of black spots on roads? Cars crashing in the same locations?
Well, yes. Sharp turns, bad visibility.
You can tell yourself that. I think ghosts make black spots.
In your opinion, it's the unquiet dead.
Nail on the head.
That's an unusual outlook.
No, there's a few of us that think so.
Oh, so you're part of a group or a club or something. I could have guessed.
I am indeed.
And what's the group called?
There's no name. It's not a club.
Okay.
I can guess what you're thinking.
And what's that?
That you've caught yourself a live one.
Am I talking to a nut?
I don't think so. But the mad never do think they're mad, do they?
Well, I have nothing to worry about with you. By the time you get that engine going, I'd have long skedaddled.
It's not me you have to worry about.
It's the ghosts?
Yep.
Exactly.
Oh, would you excuse me for a minute, Stormy? I think we might be back in action here.
Of course. Keep me in the loop.
Will do. Over and out.
Bye. Wow. Did not see that coming. Glad I didn't tell her about the more recent boat sinking. She'd have never shut up. Or maybe that's why she came. Do not start. Crap. Jeff? This is so stupid. Jeff? Jeff? I need a cup of tea to calm myself down. Oh, wait. Hi, Alan and Sandra. Me again on a tape you'll never hear. This one is for my ears only. I've creeped myself out and I need to pretend I'm talking to someone who's listening. I always thought a voice talking to itself and knowing it would never get an answer is the loneliest sound. Oh crap. That fog has really come in. Mary. Mary? Can you hear me? Mary? Damn it. I can't see you anymore. Mary? Mary?
Hey, sorry, I could hear you, but I wasn't near the radio.
Mary, what's up with your engine? Is it working? Have you started to come back in?
Everything is fine.
The fog has really come in. I can't see your boat.
It's all right.
Because if I can't see you, the Coast Guard is going to struggle too.
I can see your light. It's okay. We know where the rocks are.
So you still haven't moved? This is bad. I told you to tell me. You shouldn't have headed out in this weather. That was a rookie error.
We're where we want to be, Stormy.
What does that mean?
Okay, I don't want to freak you out, Stormy. So when I tell you this, don't panic.
Tell me what?
Fine. Right. There was never anything wrong with the engine.
Excuse me?
We stopped. Deliberately.
Then why did you tell me there was?
We didn't want you to call the Coast Guard on us and they'd make us come back in before it was time.
That's exactly what I'm going to do now.
Wait! You'll only be putting them in danger for nothing. We are absolutely fine.
What the hell are you playing at?
We didn't want anyone to know we were out here.
Then why did you call me on the radio about the fog?
We were checking if there was anyone there. That lighthouse is supposed to be unmanned. Automatic. You're not supposed to be there.
This is my last day.
Well, we know that now.
Okay. Well, I am here. And I have a job to do.
Please. We just need another while and then we'll be finished.
Finished doing what?
It's for the club that isn't a club.
This ghost rubbish?
Yes. It's the anniversary of the sinking. We're all trying to make contact.
All? Well, that implies there's more than just the two people you told me there were. You're full of lies tonight. How many idiots do you have packed into that little pleasure cruiser? So I know how many to tell the Coast Guard they have to drag out of the sea.
That doesn't matter.
Your safety is my responsibility. It's gone beyond your control, so I'm getting help.
There was another boat whose safety was your responsibility. You didn't get help for that one.
What are you talking about, Mary?
We both know what I'm talking about. I know what I'm talking about. Everyone here knows what I'm talking about.
Are they all listening?
We're all gathered here listening to your voice. We've been listening to you all along. I was picked as the best one to speak because I'm the best at getting through to people. Because I have the least threatening voice.
Picking the least threatening actually signifies this is a threat.
Tell us about the other boat.
If you know about the other boat already, why did you ask when the last accident was?
I was checking. Just like I was checking if there was someone in the lighthouse.
You were testing me.
And you said the last boat lost was 12 years ago, in 1975. So, you failed the test.
Are you all from around here?
Why did you lie?
I didn't lie. Well, okay, obviously I did.
What is it? You just can't face it?
If you know so much about it, why are you even asking me? Go read a newspaper.
We wanted to see how much you knew about it.
Do I know you? Do I know any of you?
No. Maybe.
Then who knows you? Are you from the village? Do you have family in the village?
Someone on that boat knew me. Say it. Say his name.
Jeff.
That's it. We can come ashore now.
After all that, all of a sudden I don't want you to.
And then we can come up to the lighthouse.
Don't you dare.
We just needed you to say his name. We were...
Testing me.
We'll be there very soon, Anna.
Mary, I don't know what you think you're doing, but do not come to this lighthouse.
You can make this a lot easier by admitting what you did.
I did nothing.
And therein lies the problem. You did nothing to help Jeff.
You're ages away. I'm going to be gone by the time we get here. It's pointless.
We were getting closer in the fog. We just didn't turn on the engine. But everyone working together got us so very close. You couldn't see us, but we could see the light.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Okay. And I think. Call the Coast Guard. Call the police. No. By the time I get here, it'll be too late. Just go. Leave. Get your crap together and run. What do they want? Well, goodbye, Stormy and Head. Didn't think our last night together would be so dramatic. Take care, Carl. Hello? Who's... Jeff? Is that you? Oh, God. Jeff? I'm sorry, Jeff. I didn't mean for what happened to happen. I always hoped you knew that. I made myself believe that you knew that, but now I think maybe you didn't. Stop it! Jeff! Stop! Stop it! Stop it! You have to forgive me.
Anna? It's us.
How did you get here so fast?
Did you try calling for help?
I didn't think there was a point.
There wasn't. You won't be able to.
What did you do?
Let's just say it's been fixed.
You don't think I'll be able to take you on, do you? Well, you're in for a surprise, all of you. I have a gun. A harpoon one.
No, you don't.
Harpoon one. My God. Oh my God. This is hell.
It can be over very quickly, my love.
I don't know what you want.
We need you to admit what happened with Jeff. That's all.
And then what?
I can't promise you what will happen after that.
I'm not telling you anything.
Don't you realise, Anna? You're trapped in there. You can't get out. Unless, well, I told you.
Jeff! Jeff, go away!
Why are you screaming his name?
That pounding, it won't stop. He won't stop pounding against the boat.
Anna, I can't hear anything. There's a reason why I couldn't hear the pounding and only you could.
All right. I'll say it. Because I can't take it anymore. I need this to end. Jeff was in the boat and...
No, from the very start. Every bit of it.
Fine. Fine. The last boat lost at sea was not 12 years ago in 1975. The last boat lost at sea was a lot closer than that.
What date?
Well, you said today was the anniversary, so I think you know.
You'll need to say it later.
Oh, piss off. Anyway, Jeff was at a push. You could call him my boyfriend. Did I love him? No, but he certainly had a bigger impact on me than anyone I did love. Isn't it funny? In another few weeks, I'd say we'd have split up anyway, and now we're tied together for good. He was nice. That's what drew me to him. He was nice. Simple as that. I just needed nice because it's tough being the only female like you here in Ireland. It's seen as a boys' club. When I started at Stormy Head, I wasn't welcome, but no one was pushing me out. You can't let people push you out, or where will it end? They grew to accept me over time, never welcome, but that doesn't matter. The village soon knew I wasn't going anywhere and left me to it. It's a lonely job, sitting here, listening to the waves crash against the rocks in the night, looking out over the ocean from the window as the great beam lights the way, then disappears, then lights the way again. It lulls you into a dream. It can feel like an eternity has passed. You can try talk to yourself, but when you know no one will ever answer, it's the loneliest sound. And then Jeff, who you lot are so mad about. I met Jeff. We weren't even seeing each other that long, and I could already feel him slipping away, losing interest, and I didn't want to be lonely. But what could I offer him? All I knew before I met him was Stormule Head. So I tried to give him what I knew. I said we should go out in the boat, and I wanted him to see Stormule Head from the sea, to see what I loved about it, how it towers above everything, how it protects, how it saves. So I took him out in the boat, and I knew there was a chance of fog, but we'd be back before it set in, I thought. I knew the sea. I knew all about it. Besides, we'd see the light, I thought, and the light would lead us ashore. But when we were out there, the fog came in quick. We tried to get back, but he started to panic. I tried to calm him, but he wasn't used to the sea. And well, you know what happened. The boat tipped, turned over. I was submerged for a moment in the freezing water, but I swam up. I swam up and I could hear him pounding from underneath, pounding on the capsized hull. This metallic boom. But I couldn't see the boat in the fog, and then I panicked. The cold was sucking my energy, and I knew it would take me. So I swam ashore to Stormule Head. I made it out, and he didn't. And it's been eating me alive. Jeff died because of me. Because I couldn't bear to be lonely. And that's it. That's the truth. There you go. You happy now?
Can you hear me clearly?
Of course I can hear you. You're all I can hear.
Jeff didn't drown, Anna. He lived.
What? He's alive? He's not. He's not.
No, he's not. Not now. He died a long time later. But he didn't die in the boat. That was him pounding, though.
I don't understand.
He was pounding, trying to reach you.
No.
He was trying to reach you.
No. That's enough. I've listened to enough of this madness. I'm calling for help.
Anna, wait. You can't.
Everything's different. What did you do? How did you get in?
Can you hear me clearly?
None of these instruments are the same.
You need to move on, Anna. You're making Stormyule Head a black spot.
Shut up! When this fog clears...
There is no fog.
It's surrounding the lighthouse. It's all I can see through the glass.
There is no fog, Anna.
Get away from the door. I'm coming out. Get away from the door. I'm going into the village and I'm going to be done with this.
Wait!
You people are insane. I'm coming out and I don't want to be in this lighthouse anymore.
Stop! Listen to what I told you. You have to listen to what I told you before you open the...
Good morning, Stormyule Head, for the last time.
The Loneliest Sound was written and directed by Peter Dunne. It was edited and produced by Liam Geraghty. It starred Amy O'Dwyer and Margaret McAuliffe. You can keep updated with all things Petrified on Twitter and Instagram at petrified_pod. Petrified is funded by the Broadcasting Authority of Ireland with the television licence fee.